This video from the Innovation Leaders Club explores how to ensure your innovation efforts hit the right target. Identifying strategic arenas, which are the area of focus for your innovation efforts, is part of the first steps to defining an innovation strategy. This helps the organization pinpoint where to focus its proactive innovation effort. Examples of innovation strategy outcomes will help you visualize how you could apply this approach in your workplace. We have developed a 60-page visual guidebook on how to develop an innovation strategy. It is a fully illustrated step-by-step guide to building the foundation of an innovation system. Click the link in the description below to download it for free. More specifically, how to identify strategic arenas. The first deliverable of an innovation strategy is to quantify the goals and objectives coming from innovation. With the targeted goals and objectives determined, the next question is where these numbers will be derived from. This is exactly the aim of the second deliverable called Strategic Arenas, which aims to identify where these innovation business outcome targets will come from. Here is a more detailed process. We are going to cover strategic arenas in 2 modules. This module will delve deeper into Identify Strategic Arenas, while another module will cover Select Strategic Arenas. What is a strategic arena? Similar to a building's foundation, the strategic arena is at the heart of an effective innovation strategy. In a nutshell, it is the area for innovations, like a sandbox where an innovation program can occur and grow. A strategic arena should include an innovation program with numerous projects, and it will require a 3 to 5 year completion timeline. In most cases, a strategic arena can sustain an innovation program for more than 5 years, and in some cases, 10 years or more. As an example of the importance of strategic arenas, one of our very own Innovation Leaders Club members implemented innovation strategies more than 15 years ago, and most of their strategic arenas are still in effect today. Notice that a strategic arena should list multiple opportunities. An organization can capture these opportunities through a specific project or combine them into a live project. As for the rejected opportunities, they will either disappear or be seized by the competition. Even though an organization cannot capture all its potential opportunities, it is important to realize that not all opportunities will last. As strategic arenas are an innovation strategy's stable pillars, they will not change every year. However, opportunities, on the other hand, can come and go. Let's proceed to explore innovation maturity. Starting with maturity, the strategic arena is the foundation of an innovation system. Let's take an example of a milk producer who selected drinkable milk outside the home as a strategic arena. Moving on to the front end of innovation, also known as FEI, the lowest maturity is the opportunity. In the process of targeting a highly promising strategic arena, it will then involve the identification of several opportunities that are interrelated. Most likely, this is more than what the current innovation capacity of the organization can handle. This is an important decision, as you must select one or a few opportunities of ideally no more than 3 within the strategic arena before moving forward with the innovation process. In this case of the milk producer, the opportunities for drinkable milk outside the home could be at schools, lunchboxes, vending machines, gyms, and so on. In this example, the selected choice is the B2 opportunity, which could correspond to lunchboxes. Now that a clear opportunity is identified, it is then possible to shift to a create mode in order to generate original ideas. You can spawn multiple ideas specifically targeting the lunchboxes. Think of a new idea as a one-liner in a tool or a simple post-it on a wall. Then when you get more information, you can add more flesh to the bone. Furthermore, you can then develop a concept. A concept can be a well-defined idea, in other words, a one-pager as opposed to a one-liner, or it can simply combine numerous ideas. Once you've selected a concept, you can move on to the preliminary feasibility phase. You can now define your project's proposal scope of work, its budget, and integrate it into the innovation program's roadmap. Ultimately, this future project might go live during a decision made at the Innovation Project Portfolio Review phase and be followed by the development phase. As implied, the innovation system's foundation is the strategic arena. The selection process is crucial to your organization's innovation strategy. It should mobilize key multifunctional stakeholders and not solely depend on your marketing and/or R&D's purview. Let's discuss the strategic arena categories. The strategic arenas can be categorized as follows. To illustrate each category, the applicable examples used are a furniture manufacturer's business reality. The first category is product or service. This is what the clients are buying, and it creates value for them. For example, a table, a couch, a bed, among others. Next, there is technology. The organization does not sell technology, rather it accounts for value creation. As an example, quick assembly mechanisms, surface textures, and more. Another category, the market segment, is the division of a heterogeneous market into relatively homogeneous segments based on certain parameters like geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavior. For example, U.S. West Coast, European markets, gamers, small apartment dwellers, among others. Then the business model is another category which covers how the company creates and captures its added value. As an example, refurbishing, renting, pay-per-use, upgradable, and more. The next category, trend, refers to what is hip or popular at a certain point in time. It comes and goes. This includes modern, retro, urban, industrial, and others. Last but not least, the distribution channel. This is how the organization ultimately reaches its clients or users. As good examples, distribution to the mass retailer, direct sales on e-commerce, among others. Standards and regulations are obligations with which organizations must comply to access a specific market. For example, these are rarely applicable for the furniture industry's strategic arenas, except for babies. Next, governmental programs involve support from governments to promote targeted objectives. Buy local and recycle furniture are some examples. Demographics come from societies or groups defined by specific criteria such as age, education, nationality, religion, and ethnicity. For example, Asians, elderly, students, and babies. Next is the customer experience. This is the total experience a customer lives during all the consumption process stages, including the pre-purchase, consumption, and post-purchase stages. For example, warranty, after-sales service, ease of use. Lastly, environment or sustainability generally refers to the capacity for the organization and Earth's biosphere to coexist. Some examples include post-consumer recycled material, recyclable materials, and extendable product life, from babies to youth to teenagers. Never miss a video. Subscribe now and get notifications for real and practical innovation management practices coming directly from club members. Don't forget to click on the link in the description below to access the content discussed in this video. In addition, there is an interesting trend related to two increasingly popular strategic arena categories, the customer experience and the business model. In the early 2000s, these categories were not as relevant. However, considering the Innovation Leaders Club members' most recent innovation strategies, on average, a third of the selected strategic arenas were strongly linked to those two categories or combined them both. For example, if 6 strategic arenas are chosen, 2 out of 6 strategic arenas will likely have a strong emphasis on either customer experience and/or business model. Interestingly, strategic arenas may be also crosswise. In this example, notice that the product strategic arenas A, B, and C are on the vertical axis, while the 2 technology-based strategic arenas, Technology 1 and 2, are crosswise. To better illustrate the crosswise approach, let's analyze a furniture manufacturer's example. Here, the strategic arenas the computer station, the multifunctional table, and the urban bedroom are on the vertical axis, while the e-commerce and replacement program strategic arenas are crosswise. Interestingly, the last 2 strategic arenas are a combination of the business model and the customer experience. They represent more than 1/3 or 40% in this case of the overall selected strategic arenas. If you haven't already done so, you can get your hands on our popular 60-page visual guidebook for free. Click the link in the description below. Don't hesitate to watch the next video to learn even more about innovation management practices.